What's on, guys? Jay Hoyt back with you today. Welcome back to episode number 14 of our franchise mode with the Anaheim Ducks. We are back here, like I said, in episode number 14. It's been a little bit since we've uploaded, but real life has gotten absolutely crazy. Summertime has brought lots of new fun things. But like I said, we are back here, episode 14, on our franchise mode with the Ducks. And we are picking it up right where we left off, halfway through the year. We sit 8-1-1 the last 10. We sit third in our division, off by 2 points. So it's exactly what we wanted. Our superstar trade and signing, or re-signing, I guess I should say, is coming in big for us. So we're exactly where we need to be. Our superstars are there. Couple of underwhelming performances from some other guys, but we're still doing really well, so you can't be super upset about it. As for the year right now, we're kind of chilling, right? 51 points for Ehlers, 24, 12, and 5. Like I said, we're in a really good spot right now. Only off the division lead by 2 points, off the top of the league by 6 points. So, like I said, we're fine right now. I know we were thinking about making a couple trades or moves or whatever, but we did adjust some lines. We added in DeBrusk to our power play line because he was kind of like the one guy that wasn't in the power play lines out of our top 9 wingers. But we're going to continue on, and we'll see what happens once we get towards the trade deadline. But for now, we're going to keep things as they are. Like I said, we are, 41 games played, so exactly halfway through the season. Let's continue it on strong. A nice little couple-day break right before the trade deadline, and that's where we're really going to kind of hone in on, what's the rest of the season going to look like for our team, and what's it going to look like for some of our players. We'll have to, see what people are going to be UFAs this summer, see if they would be better off to move them or, trade them, include them in a trade, try to get something bigger, try to get a rental. We'll have to just wait and see and kind of see what our team is doing. So here's the thing. I could stop it right now and try to, figure out what we need for a trade, but we're still doing well, and we have between where we are right now, we have 5 games. So we're going to go to the day before. And because those 5 games could be big. I mean, not necessarily huge, but still pretty big. So pretty strong. I think that was all but 1 win. Yeah, so 4 out of the 5 games are wins. So that's exactly what we wanted. Increased our season total, 39 wins, 16 losses, and 5 overtime losses. So exactly what we wanted. Right top of the division. And, oh, wow. So we'd be 3rd in the league right now. So it's really hard to kind of bet against that. But let's go take a look at the trade block, see where we are, see if anyone's really, truly still struggling, and kind of just see what it's out there. So after looking through all of the teams, the possible trades, everything, there is not really much I'm interested in. Now, there's a couple players we could get, and that has somewhat low trade value that we would probably get for a player and a pick, but it's not really worth it. Our team's been doing so well by itself. We don't have the number of people. We don't have necessarily the perfect quality of people, but we have players that are all a team, and I don't feel like I need to change that right now. So let's keep it going, right? We're going to fast forward past the deadline, and we're going to move on, right? Because we'll be fine. But let's keep going, ride this season out on a good note. And at 41 wins, 42 wins now, I feel like that's going to be the key here. Jacob, we're freaking winning, and we're doing really well, and you want to talk to me about your ice time concerns? 45 wins, we're not 100 points, jeez. All right, so 100 points is good enough for 3rd in the league. So again, I don't really need to do any changes here. Let's just keep riding it out here, and we'll see what we end up with. Right, let's finish the season out strong here. We could get 50 wins here, which will likely happen. There we go. So yeah, this is definitely a successful season. Jake DeBrusk, you've been awful all year, and you want to talk to me too? And then right afterwards, you don't think you're performing the best of your abilities? Jake DeBrusk. Last 3 games of the year, can we get to 55 win or 56 win? Nah, we get 54 at the end, which is good enough for 116 points, which puts us in second place in the entire league. So of course, let's take a look at our team stats. We'll go through all that, the player stats, and then we'll wind up at the very end here. We'll figure out who our first round opponent is, and we'll scout them out. So let's start with the team stats. I know we already got a look there at Trevor Zegras, but we got to take a look at our team stats. So it looks like Colorado Avalanche get the #1 spot in the entire league, 119 points. Kind of hard to argue with that. Well, we are right behind them with 116. So obviously a great year for our team. You know, from where we started to where we are now. What are we in year 4, 3, 4, 5? How many years are we into this thing? I don't even know. But let's check it out though. So our final record, 54, 20, and 8 as far as the whole record. 344 goals for, so we are seed 2. So that's good for second place. Actually tied for #1, which is huge with Colorado. So that's obviously a good sign. Goals against, we actually had lower than Colorado. 254, which is good enough for, what is that, 4th place, 5th place, whatever it may be. So that's really solid. Obviously a big margin there. Power play goals, 58, which is good enough for, what is that, 4th place. So we'll take that. Power play percentage, 26.5, which is good enough for 2nd. So again, really solid so far. On to penalty kill percentage, 85.8, good enough for 4th. So, I mean, every single stat in the top 4 so far. 10 shorthanded goals, which is obviously incredible. And our home record, a big turnaround from the last couple of years. 28, 9, and 4, and then our away record 26, 11, and 4, along with the last 10 being 7, 1, and 4, or 7, 1, and 4, 7, 1, and 2. I looked at the wrong number. So it's obviously solid year as a team. We put the right pieces in place that all kind of fit our scheme, and we'll see how that's all working. Obviously, you know, the big changes have helped. Which, of course, is the next thing that we're looking at. Trevor Zegras leading the way, 44 goals, 76 assists, good enough for 120 points overall. A massive year from Ehlers, a huge year from Terry, all obviously 100 points. And plus, Ryan Strome, 88 points, obviously huge for him. That could be a big trade bait if his trade value skyrockets after this year and potentially end up trading him this offseason. Honestly, that'd be a huge thing. But also at the same time, we have one more year out of him, so hopefully he can produce something similar. Bertuzzi with a big year. Mercer, McTavish, Perreault, can't ask for much more from them. DeBrusk hugely stepped it up. He was at, 20 points? Or something like that at the halfway point. So we put him on the power play, and he ends up actually figuring out how to play hockey again. 46 points for him. Our 4th line doing 4th line things. -2 for one of our players. But other than that, everyone else plus exactly what we need from them. Although we didn't really get the superstar performance we wanted from Drysdale, 37 points isn't horrible. I mean, 6 power play points. I'd like a little bit more out of that, and I don't really know how to get it. You know, he is at 86 overall, so it's not like he's a low overall. He's got the skills. He has the ability. But obviously, I'd like a little bit more out of him. But, of course, we'll have to wait and see what he does next year. Fabro with another really solid year for him. I mean, the last couple of years, kind of was slowly figuring it out after we acquired him. Next year, kind of really average, but playing the 3rd line. So, not really too much. But the last 2 years, 30-plus points each. You know, I think that's pretty darn solid for the contract we have him under. Was it 2.5 mil for, 4 years, something like that. So, obviously, very solid year for him. Very solid for the rest of our guys as well. Mid down there, pretty solid year. Pellick, exactly what we need from these guys. And really plus as well. Our lowest is a plus 12. So obviously we are doing something right. So we will absolutely take that. Goaltenders, exactly what we needed out of both of them. Sorokin doing exactly what we needed. 44 wins, 16 losses, 5 overtime losses. You know, above a 9 save percentage, under a 3 goals against. I mean, obviously those can always be better. But also, we did really solid this year, so I can't really say much. Dosta with a pretty good year here. 10 wins out of 17 games played, 4 losses, 3 overtime losses. You know, again, above a 900% save percentage, under a 3 goals against. Nothing more we can really ask for there. We'll take a quick look through the AHL. Solid year from both of our goaltenders. Solid year from Andre once again. Yeah. Where are our 2 young guys? It's Bentley, so this guy. So 28 points. Again, that's solid for a first year. And it's Martin's at 28 points for him as well down there. So that's a pretty good sign for our future. Plus 33, plus 35. Exactly what we needed out of those guys. Solid year for the rest of the guys there. What about forwards? So I was going to say, the one player we're really looking at here is Tracy. 65 points. He wasn't kind of the superstar we were looking for down there. To be 83 overall playing in the AHL is kind of rare. But also, I mean, that's a solid year. Obviously, the rest of our team did really solid as well. So I'm not going to be upset about it. But obviously, we're just expecting a little bit more out of him, a little bit more point per game. But at the same time, we're going to look to try to bring him up next year. So we got a good look at our stats. We even checked it on the AHL team. Now, here the real question is, who are we facing off against in the first round? Let's get a couple of days past here, and we find out... Oh, that's the Vegas Golden Knights. That's rough. Well, let's go take a look at who they even have anymore. Well, obviously not the thing you wanted to see facing off against your favorite team in the first round. We got their sign or their flag back there. We actually have a new flag I can't wait to hang up. But who do they got? Oh boy. Dorofeev on the first line with Eichel and Stone. That's really interesting. Patrick on the second line with Fabry and Balsers, Bunting, Stevenson, Cunnin. And then a very strange lineup here. Carlson, Watt, and Barbashev on the fourth line. So pretty solid, right? That team seems like it's not bad. There's a lot of like two-way people there, two-way power forwards, if you ask me. But hey, obviously they made it to the playoffs, so we're not really going to question it. Aha, that's what it is. So they don't have Shea Theodore anymore. Grzelcyk and Coughlin on the first line. Butcher and Pietrangelo, Whitecloud and Korchak. So there's no injuries, so I don't know where Theodore went. Maybe they traded him, maybe he signed. No, because he would still be under contract for a couple of years, I think. Maybe they traded him. I don't know. Goaltenders, Ranta and Holtby. I mean, very interesting. Not really sure what to think about that. Like I said, a lot of two-way, a lot of power forwards, and they don't have their best defenseman or a good goaltender. So their defense is kind of lacking, but they have a really solid forward group. So, you know, we're not going to take that lightly. Obviously, we know what we got on our side. I obviously feel very confident in the boys in Anaheim here. You know, 54 wins, second overall in the league. And what was it, 100 points right on the dot, or a little bit more than that, something like that. So 118, whatever it was. So obviously, I'm very excited for the playoffs. Our team is the best it's ever been here, and a lot of guys are going to want a lot of big contracts if we make a really deep run here. But that's going to do it for today's episode of our franchise mode with the Anaheim Ducks. We did really solid the second half of the year. You know, our team was gelling so well, we ended up not making any trades, not making any signings, and everyone stepped up exactly when they needed to. But that's going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy, hit the like button down below if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload, and don't forget, you can always change your mind later. With all that being said, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
In the